Welcome to another PCA Live 3 at 3 broadcast. Today we have Donovan Mack from Gallagher Affinity joining us, along with our very own Greg Vickers, who is Director of Retailer Membership for the PCA. For those who may not be familiar with Gallagher, they're one of our affinity partners, which means that if you're a PCA member, then you get exclusive discounts and savings for a whole suite of products and services through them. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Greg and Donovan.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron.
Appreciate it. In about 2017, IPCPR at the time started exploring affinity partners, meaning these are companies that we pool together our members as customers for them, and they in return offer significant discounts to our members. And this is one that's with Gallagher specifically, it's one that I don't think our members take enough advantage of. Last week, we had a Facebook Live session with Premium Tobacco Processing addressing credit card processing and some of their new offerings. And they've put their systems in a lot of our member stores. And next week, we're doing one with Cigar Insurance USA, which is a business owner's policy management firm. And each of these companies would, sell their products and services to our members, and in return, a small percentage of their revenue is paid back to us as a royalty. So we like to advertise PCA members help these people who are helping us, and in return, you're going to save money anyway because the products and programs are discounted. So Donovan's representing Gallagher Affinity. When we started our affinity program just about exactly 2 years ago, it was May in 2018, the company was called Meridian One. And Meridian One had a history of packaging discounts for trade groups, not-for-profits like ours, because we, PCA, could go out and negotiate with a hotel chain, airline, rent-a-car services, stuff like that. But we found that the companies that do this for a living and do it professionally, they just do it better. They're going to get better discounts. They're going to market it, which we don't have a tremendous amount of time to do anyway. And it's been a win-win. I think Gallagher bought out Meridian One, kept a lot of the same staff in the same office in Alexandria, Virginia, pretty close to where we are here in DC. And I think the members of ours who have been using them, I'll let Donovan review what have been their most profitable with our members. I know the UPS shipping discounts, even there is UPS freight. We had at least one exhibitor at our show last year ship their booth to Las Vegas using that affinity program. But they offer Lenovo for office equipment, computers, whatnot, and a few other that we've taken advantage of. And I just thought it'd be a good idea for us to get it out in front of you. You guys can watch it later on, YouTube or whatever. This presentation will be around. But again, personally, I once used last summer budget rent-a-car. I got a discount through Gallagher's program, and it's pretty easy to access. And if you think about it, next time you're buying one of these items anyway, your PCA member, take advantage of it, do what it takes to get the discount. And that said, I'm happy to introduce Donovan. Donovan, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about the programs you offer and, kind of segue into which ones have been most popular with our members.
Absolutely. So hello, everyone. We manage a whole variety of products and services offered by major companies and brands to the PCA members. And that's kind of our mission, is to make sure we provide that strategic partnership, but in addition to provide that member benefit, like that's kind of sold to us. And that's part of our DNA, is creating that Meridian, which kind of explains the name a little bit within the partnerships that we create. But we manage and provide to PCA the discounts programs from UPS and UPS Freight. And a lot of people do use it for their conferences, which is great. We love that. And of course, when live events get back up, we want to see more of that, of course. But UPS Freight Avis Budget and Hertz, which are car rentals, like you mentioned, and then Office Depot and Lenovo. And we've really seen a good amount, of course, in UPS. That's been our main like provider and our main like bulk of what we do is through UPS, and we love that partnership because it's so popular within associations and shipping in general. So through PCA, we've seen that UPS growth, and we've seen that come in, of course, based on who the members are and what the members are doing. But then we also get to see some good stuff from Office Depot and Lenovo when it comes to that work from home setting or that essential setting, because it can really help with bulk items, with different products and services that come about, like your signage outside your store if you're a retailer and things like that. So we'd love to see that good tick and how we can kind of pivot, but in addition to providing that member benefit in general during the pandemic and then hopefully later after the pandemic.
So if you're a PCA member and you're wanting to take advantage of this for the first time, how's the process work? I will say that we have at premiumcigars.org, our website, if you're looking for these affinity partners, they're listed under the membership tab. If you click membership and then under retailer membership, you'll see different benefits of being a retailer member. Scroll down the page just a few inches, you'll see the discount programs I've mentioned. And so again, okay, you want to ship something UPS, you want to buy something from Office Depot, your first time, how do you take advantage of that?
So yeah, it's definitely a couple of tiers you can go down, a couple of routes that you can go down, but it's fairly easy. What I recommend too is what I mentioned is the 1-800 members. That was a part of Meridian One. It's also a part of Gallagher as well that we still use, but members can go ahead and call that number, and then people are there and able to walk you through the process. And it's really helpful because seeing it done in person for the members, it's really helpful even from my end to see how that process works. But there are specific links that you go to. So the main link to showcase everything is www.1800members.com/PCA. And how you go there is you see all the list of the benefits. In addition, you'll see each one has a specific link. Once you click on that link, you can create an account. And then once you create an account, you won't have to enter any promo codes or any, after the cart, got to make sure whatever account system you use to get some discounts, it's already linked. Now for Hertz, Avis Budget, and Avis and Budget, it's the same thing, but to Avis and Budget. For both of those programs, they do have a specific code. It was not a promo code, but a specific code that makes sure you're a part of this program, and then it'll automatically link. So it comes in addition to when you rent the car, it has it there, what code to use, but those are also available on the website for to be utilized through the programs. But click on that link, get started with your account, and then everything is already linked to when you make discounts. Especially for UPS, that's easy, that's able, and then you can especially do it with someone on the phone with you. And then Office Depot is even simpler because it has the discounts already listed. So it's a business site, it's a business account. It's completely different from what's on OfficeDepot.com. Same products, but it has those discounts available. So you can add them to your cart, hit purchase, and those discounts are already available.
It's mention the website name again, just in case people are.
Sure, 1-800members.com/PCA.
Okay. And I guess, I mean, that makes sense because UPS shipping, making a purchase at Office Depot, which I presume it's both online purchases or at the store.
So yeah, so of course during the pandemic things of course happen, but yes, during the store both are open where you can utilize. So Office Depot has the store purchasing cards as well, that if you go to the register with your products and you have that card available, it'll connect your account. With UPS, it's a little bit different because those are also those are franchisees. Mm-hmm. So there's a feature called Bill My Account. And then once it's able to link it, you'll be able to get your discounts through there. But if you go up and mention, say, I'm a member of PCA, and they're kind of looking confused, it's not your fault. But sometimes they're not all the way aware of each franchisees across the U.S. Where the program. So that Build My Account feature and our 1-800 members team works great in mentioning that to the members. But just adding that feature in will get you attached to your account through PCA.
Good. Well, an office supplies purchase from Office Depot or a shipping transaction through UPS, those can be pretty frequent, whereas a rental car arrangement, buying office equipment through Lenovo, those are more likely to be a once in a while thing. So I think I have talked to a couple members who regularly use the Gallagher Affinity discount for UPS shipping. And I just thought I'd hear from the horse's mouth what you've done to make it easy, because, you know, you want to get it drilled now. And what can you say about the amount of the discounts for the various programs? How much is it likely to save you?
So UPS has up to 50%, and then it has a list of kind of what you can save. There's the U.S. Capital Insurance. You want to really insure your package. There's, shipping internationally and what that goes. There's ground shipping and commercial shipping that has a list of getting up to 50%. But also there's Simple Rate, which works in separate from your account. It was with your account, but separate from the discount, in that there's one simple rate that you use. So up to 50 pounds, there's 5 different sizes. So extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. And it just gives one simple rate, and you can use your own box. Mm-hmm. So if you have custom boxes for your retail, or it has your branding all over it, it's really easy to just utilize that and have a simple rate, one price that goes about and how it does it. So like a residential fee is canceled out, and there are certain other fees that are canceled out through that. But UPS has up to 50%. Office Depot, which is unique because it has up to 75%, but it's a whole bunch of different things. So, of course, before the pandemic, and services and things like that, printing, that's stapling, that's, those bulk things, if you're printing your labels or something like that, of course, UPS does that as well. But if you have something custom going on, Office Depot can definitely help with that. And then now we see signage and things like that. So there are a whole bunch of different services we see, but Office Depot also has things like toilet paper and cleaning products and face masks and things of that nature that members can utilize that are for personal and professional. So it's really good to utilize that's there. And then those discounts are already marked off on the site. And then as well, if you can find a store that's open, I'm sure a good amount of them are open, just practicing, the list of social distancing as far as who's in the store. Once someone comes out, you can kind of come in and things like that. But yeah, those discounts are very specific to the members, because they're given priority with the Office Depot. They're given that 50% with the UPS. And then in addition with the rental car programs, they're doing, their utmost diligence to make sure that those go about, as well as 25% off when you do. So when traveling gets really ramped back up, which we're going to see hopefully come soon, they're definitely available, and they're practicing really good things so that, members stay safe. But then with Lenovo, like you said, it can kind of happen here and there. You may need a few things. I had to get a few things myself because I kind of wanted to mimic the office setting. So I have my 2 monitors. I have my, separate keyboard for my laptop. I have my own mouse. So kind of in this things, it's a great work from home solution. But they do a fluctuating discount. So it's 30% off in general. But currently right now, they're doing a Memorial Day sale, with 55% off. So that usually gets up to 60%. With just how things go about and what they're feeling as far as discounts go. But yeah, seeing that fluctuate, that's every month they have a discount attached to either a holiday or some special sale and things like that. So it's really easy, and they have more than just ThinkPads. So it's great to utilize that for the small things that maybe can be more consistent as far as technology, and then maybe your bulk thing. So if you had a classroom and you need to get 10 laptops, that's a very significant discount, 55% off than what you would get with just buying that laptop off the regular site.
So if I'm going to a UPS store, for me, most time I want to ship a UPS envelope within the United States. I'm probably looking at a $12 to $16 transaction. I assume they don't discount that very much. You probably get into bigger savings if you're shipping boxes. What's your experience with that?
Well, of course, we've seen a little bit of both, where the freight kind of fluctuates from the 75 to 90% kind of sort of based on, how much you're shipping and how often you ship. But if you're doing something consistent where it's like, I want to ship these important papers to, we're in DC to California maybe, or even to wherever the place may be, it gets pretty consistent. Of course, you'll see more of a discount when it comes to you shipping more, but those don't fluctuate as far as you don't ship so much, so you're not going to do it. Or it really depends on the method that you're shipping. So if it's ground, you're going to get that 50. If it's residential, you're going to get that 30 and things like that. So It's definitely not a place where we've seen the frequency it just depends on what you're shipping and then what that discount is. So international, that's something different as far as the discount goes. So of course the weight kind of doesn't matter, or like, what you're shipping. It can be a small, tiny little box. It's all about how you're able to ship. And that method, of course, goes along with the weight of your package. But those discounts stay firm as far as fluctuating. So as long as it stays within whichever box or category the discount's in, the discount will remain the same.
During the whole COVID shutdown period, a lot of our member retailers who didn't really think they were ever going to get into e-commerce in a big way have started, maybe 2 boxes of cigars, a package that weighs less than 10 pounds. And some are, they're also doing more, curb pickup and close local delivery, but they're shipping more than they're accustomed to. And I think that is, getting into a routine. And UPS is, I'm glad your affinity program promotes UPS, because a few years back, as everybody in the tobacco trades know,
yes.
FedEx stopped shipping tobacco. So I think there's some good applicability there and some really decent savings to be had for some members. I mean, there's always been, in my 4+ years experience here, there's certainly a bustling online cigar sales business, but we're the brick and mortar retailer stores. We want everything we can do to promote the success of the brick and mortar retailer. And quite a few of them that I've talked to are now, for the first time in their history, shipping a significant amount of product, where before it was here and there a little bit.
Right.
I know one of the services you offer is deluxe for office printing and whatnot. And that seems to me like a business that's changed over the years for the business community in general. I mean, people used to, print their checks. Now nobody writes checks. There are office forms that might be specific to your business. And now a lot of those things are available online. What are they doing to drum up business, and what services do they have that our members might be interested in?
For the deluxe program, you said?
Yeah.
We don't offer deluxe anymore.
Oh, okay.
That kind of happened after, or before, excuse me, I was brought on to the team, but we don't offer deluxe anymore as far as the program.
I'm sorry, we listed that on the website, and I thought when we started, it didn't seem like the one that was going to get a lot of attention. And just like I said, what do those companies do to drum up business? I don't think we're losing much by not offering them, but I was curious if they were, making anything new and spicy to get people's attention.
Yeah, I really, after I came on, I heard of it. We don't offer that anymore, but I wasn't brushed up on what they're doing kind of sort of during the pandemic, as far as what's happening. But yeah, we've kind of pivoted in a different direction. And I feel like a lot of members have done the same, in that they kind of had to create that either retail experience, or of course the experiences like these that are kind of educating those that are still, participating in the industry in general. So those pivots definitely were made, and we kind of made our own pivots to make sure that the members are also still benefiting off what's going on, but in addition to the programs that they're signed up for.
Tell me a little bit about the car rental process. And Budget and Avis are the same company. Hertz is relatively new offering from you, right?
Correct.
Which is nice, because you want alternatives. There have been plenty of times where I've rented cars and, one company was sold out that day. One company didn't have the class of vehicle I wanted. So you're often forced to make a second call because, you wanted to rent a van and they didn't, company A didn't have it, company B did, So tell me a little bit about how that process works. Just say you're a PCA member and you want to get the PCA discount on a rent-a-car for the first time. What would you advise people to do, and how's it work?
Well, they have the unique links as well. So all of them have, Hertz has its own unique link with Thrifty and Dollar included, as well as Avis and Budget. So there's plenty of options. And like I said, all of them are using great social distancing practices, great cleaning practices, so that those are happening just in case you really need to rent a car during this time. But they're really being diligent in that, of course, that option is given, where you have Hertz and Avis budget to take advantage of. But really, like you said, some things may come up where, that day, Avis might not have, what you want, or could be sold out. So maybe you switch over to Hertz, or Budget has that option. So we really love that option ability that we're able to give members. And in addition, they're doing amazing things when it comes to the cleaning processes that's going on. But that's a 25% discount as well. So what you would see as far as I need to rent a car and, this is happening, that 25% coming off travel expenses, it just really helpful. So.
Well, I'm recalling, and I'm old, so anyway, but this was probably 5-6 years ago. I was renting a car and somebody was offering my company a discount, and I had to send off and get a one-time code. So now I'm calling, I forget, Budget, it doesn't matter, whatever, National, whoever it was. I was calling this company and giving them a code to redeem to get my, I think, 15% discount. And, if you're having to do a late switch because you don't find the car you want, that whole rigmarole was a waste of time. So.
Correct. Yeah, it's something. And we have 1-800 members, as well as myself, can walk you through the process and getting that done. But that promo code is kind of taken out because we wanted to make it easy for members. But in addition, when you click on that unique link, if it doesn't have the code already listed, it should be there. But that's for your account. So that doesn't change. That doesn't fluctuate as far as now it's save 25 or now it's this or now it's that. Once it gets done, that one specific code goes with the association members and they have the chance to utilize it. So it's really simple and easier to use than having a promo code that, what is it again? Did that one expire? It keeps
There IPCPR, before we got into an agreement with you, had a car discount they negotiated a few years before I started. And that code was always the same for all of our members. But at one point in time it changed. And then people are saying, how do I get this discount? And everything. I mean, one of the things we like about having Gallagher around is they do a lot of the legwork for us, because we're we're here doing association business. We don't have time or expertise to be a discount clearinghouse for our members looking for different services. So it's certainly been a beneficial relationship for us to have you. You mentioned a webinar you're doing soon, specific to pursuit of discounts during the whole COVID-19 thing. And tell us a little about that.
Absolutely. So what UPS is doing currently, and they have been doing it, which is a good thing because it's keeping consistent. And that's kind of what a lot of either retailers or members or whoever within their job is, to keeping consistent through their efforts. So UPS does webinars in general to really help then come up with, different solutions for their members, in addition to having a member benefit aside from, the discount. So the awareness, the teachings, the learnings that members can use also come at a benefit to those members. And these are offered to, of course, the public, but we want to make sure that the members have an opportunity to take the advantage of these, because it's specifically serving these more than it would someone general that maybe ships every now and then. But it's definitely specific to the business partners and the members that we're working with, because they have different options and availabilities for members to learn that they can take advantage of going forward. So just more information bringing about within those webinars. But this one coming up on Thursday, it's called Navigating Fulfillment and Distribution Challenges Amidst COVID-19. So really just getting into how those things are able to, in that pivot, in that shift, what's UPS doing and how UPS can kind of help you, as well as like an industry update, so to speak, as far as shipping. Because everyone's so worried about USPS, and it's like UPS is standing firm in what they're doing and providing information on what's going on during the pandemic. So that's a business that's probably seen more than before, of course, where others have had to find different ways to create sales, but they've definitely seen that influx, I can tell.
Well, I would expect their business is actually up through the shutdown. So
absolutely.
Well, what do they have you seen one of these webinars? What exactly do they discuss that specifically pertains to the coronavirus?
So it's not really like a briefing like the president might do or something, but they're kind of showcasing their ways in pivoting. I've attended a few myself, and it's something where chock full of information, of course, but it's something where kind of how you personally can navigate. And they don't take my particular situation, but they do go over a situation they've seen and kind of what solutions are provided. So I think it's really helpful in that those solutions are given. And then if you're kind of in the air of what's going on, this more information is super helpful, because then once we come out of the pandemic kind of scene and once we move on to our phases, you have this information that you've learned already set and down packed. So the ones that I've looked at have been really, really good, especially from my perspective and seeing what the members are going through and kind of their emotions. So it's really helpful in that UPS is kind of bridging the gap, so to speak, but then in addition, creating something where, we want you to leverage yourself with UPS. So that benefit is kind of learning experience, awareness experience, but then also within what you're doing, UPS is here to help.
Do you guys have any products or services you're contemplating getting into, or are you pretty comfortable with the suite of discounts you offer right now? Or is there anything new on the horizon as far as a discount program that you're offering?
Absolutely. So with the acquisition in Gallagher, we acquired a few addition discounts offered as far as programs go. So of course, Gallagher is known for that cybersecurity, that insurance, those hard-hitting programs that you can utilize. And I know PCA has those insurance program as well. And we have that business owner policy insurance as well. So we go over a whole bunch of different insurance programs that members are able to take advantage of when the association signs on. And we've also signed a program called Unified, which is basically kind of like credit card processing, but it's all a way to take in those transactions. And it's a way you can kind of take in what's going on through your purchases and accepting that at a lower rate than others. So some will charge you, on top of it, maybe a Square or whatever members are using as far as purchasing. It's a different method that offers a custom to the association, as well as really helps members get into those credit card, not processing, of course, but going on with those transactions that come in. So not really, separating it from this particular credit card. These particular credit cards have that processing. This is all transactions. And then once you're collecting your profits and your whatever you've accumulated through your purchases, Unified is here to help in giving that discount in addition to helping with that program and that run seamlessly. So
is there any reason, and I'm not asking this to be difficult, is there any reason that affinity packagers like yourselves don't offer hotel or airline? Or I used to work for a large corporation, 15,000 US employees, and they were trying to steer us towards one airline and towards one rental car company and towards one hotel chain whenever possible. Obviously you have to make exceptions, but they had quote unquote negotiated a corporate discount for airline and hotel. And of course, a lot of us road warriors would come back and say, hey, I could have called in off the street and gotten it cheaper. It created, because
every now and then.
Yeah, the airfare and hotel and airfare prices fluctuate like crazy, frankly.
Yeah.
There's, places, we all know that. But so why is that the reason you stay away from it, or is it just not?
No, not at all. We actually have a hotel discount that I'll definitely be able to send you and see if you want to sign on. But it's in addition to our whole travel center that also Gallagher, as we accumulated all and kind of put together the programs, there is a travel center that offers a chain of hotels within discounts. So each one has a specific one, but there is a travel center available. I do manage a few hotel and the travel industry in general, those associations, I manage those as well. And of course, they've seen a kind of different hit when it comes to the coronavirus and everything going on. But yeah, we do have a travel center program that I can definitely send you over and get some more information on if members are taking advantage of that. But hotels are kind of seeing a more negative hit when it comes to what's going on as far as the pandemic going on. But I will send you the travel information.
Yeah, I'd be curious. I mean, we keep talking about when things are going to get back to normal, but I think in the travel and hospitality space, it's going to be a while before things are what any of us would call normal again. So
Yeah, it's something to think about, of course. And going through these phases, you kind of almost have to keep everyone in mind, but of course, talk to the general public and what's going on. So, of course, you can break it down to who's in what industry and who's like, where's your workspace? Where is going to work? You know what I mean? Is it that office setting? Is it that hotel setting? Is it that travel agent setting? So everyone, of course, kind of managing it differently within their own industries. But yeah, that's something that's probably going to take a little bit longer to get back to normal. I know something like concerts in general, which of course I don't manage, but concerts are like looking at maybe a year or a year and a half or so.
yeah, anything with large gatherings, sports events,
things of that nature. Absolutely.
Conferences. Yeah.
And I do manage events. I do manage event industries as well. And that's something they've also seen where they've had to pivot to, of course, lives like these and, different opportunities for their members to continue to provide value. But that in person that we all love and value may not be coming for, anytime soon. So I don't want to make any predictions, but that's something that we're seeing maybe in those phases happen later down the line.
Yeah. Well, it is a tough time for retail because, even if you've been open, which the vast majority of our retailers were closed down, at least for a stretch, you just don't have the foot traffic, the people out on the street. So brick and mortar retail is coming up with all kinds of creative ways to take in some money, even though it's going to be a while before it's, equivalent to what they're accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's definitely something because, we've seen online shopping go on a really big increase, but those stores are still there. They still find good transactions within those stores. So in managing those retail and consumer industries associations, they still have their stores open. But if it's time, where they're seeing they have to close their doors or they can't really manage the requirement of mask and social distancing, then getting that website set up is super important, and getting that e-commerce. So like you said earlier, is that they have to pivot towards having a website that's growing because even those that I personally have ordered from, they're like, we're seeing an influx in orders, and, we're trying to get everything out because maybe their business has relied on retail. So now they have to kind of even build more of a team to get those shipments out. So it's not even the shipping that's taking a minute. It's that we need to process all these orders, get these labels printed, and get them to UPS to then ship. So that pivot is very important. And then seeing those retailers that did have to shut their doors temporarily, of course, maybe we're seeing some in phases open up soon. They definitely had to pivot to a certain direction where it's like, okay, we might have to get this website up and going so that our customers can still, order from us. So
yeah, well, like I said, with the shipping thing, the e-commerce thing became, an imperative in a hurry because they're,
absolutely,
just talking about approximately 2 months ago, we started seeing stores forced to shut, and hopefully it's coming to a close, and one by one we're opening up. So, but it's going to be a while before the revenues are where we want them.
Yeah.
So.
The mall closings were like dear to my heart, but had to happen.
I don't know. I'm the type of person that doesn't go to malls very much, but I do. There's an Apple store at Pentagon City. I mean, there's places you have to go.
Yeah.
So
I don't hang out in the mall, but when you need to go, you want to go to the store and talk to someone and make a purchase. Yeah. I want to see the clothes on the rack sometimes,
Well, it's funny because all of us, brick and mortar fans, we bemoan the Amazon age, but we still all use it. I know what size shoes I wear. I know what size jeans I wear. If I've bought that exact same product before, I don't want to go to a department store. I'll just order them online and wait a few days. So it's funny. Each of us is funny about what we use e-commerce for. And, I'm a musician as a hobby. I would never buy a guitar on the internet. I've got to feel it, So I mean, And that's very much the cigar buying experience. Somebody wants to, they know the product they like, but they also want to try out some new things and get some insight from the store owner, because he knows a little bit about everything.
Right. That in-person experience is valued, and kind of just lives like these and doing, these types of things and showcasing an experience that kind of mimic the same emotions that are going on within those stores are super important. So maybe an advice for a retailer is, create that offer where you send maybe a cigar to somebody and just test this one out and see if you like it, and with a discount code. And that's where the member benefits programs really get to shine, because they showcase, we've been here settled before the pandemic, so we really want to benefit you now, and that what you need and what's helpful is important. So with that shipping, of course, that's necessary to business, but that Office and Lenovo, in addition to that, and then with Office Depot, the access to cleaning supplies and masks, that's something that's super important when it comes to those discounts. So maybe those pivots can help, that the member benefit programs are showcasing off to other retailers and members as well.
Well, and that's and interesting things going on. I mean, I've had to recently attend a Zoom meeting graduation and a birthday and things like that there are actually tastings for wine, for food, and for cigars that are happening. So if you want everybody to enjoy the same cigar at the same time, you might be shipping 20 sticks out to 20 different locations, so that when you're having your Zoom tasting session, everybody's got the same product to sample.
Exactly.
I think there's some opportunities in there. I mean, our members are used to having events in their store,
right?
And let's hope some are continuing to do that, and one by one they're getting back into doing that. But I think we're going to come out of the whole COVID experience keeping some of these things. So we could still do the, Tuesday night cigar sampler for this particular product. And the store owner can ship a sample of, like I said, to 20 different locations. So
exactly. And that's where the UPS discount comes in handy. But we definitely have looked at a lot of different solutions we can provide after. So kind of as soon as we went into the work from home mode, and we're not sure when we're going to go back, our team settled on what are we going to look at when this is all over, because we can get really deep into, helping during. And of course, these programs are already set, before. So now it's where can we provide value during, but where can we provide value after? Because they're going to definitely recognize those that were there to help during the time when they were in, stressed out for the pandemic or really just wanted to go outside. They're going to remember those that were there during the pandemic time. So afterwards, we want to make sure we showcase that visibility and awareness just as much as we were before, just as we were after or during.
Well, we always talk about, how do you support? I used to go to the National Retail Federation conferences and, big trade show for retail, and how is brick and mortar retail going to survive in the Amazon age now that people can buy just about anything online? And it's all about, we say it till we're blue in the face. It's about creating the experience of, there are always successful retailers and restaurants and so on that are doing something a little different that people value. And I think the idea of, using some of these shipping options to support and draw people into the brick and mortar retail setting, because you're having, the digital experience too, one should support the other.
Correct.
So anyway, when we first started with Meridian One, they sent out a few mailers, and, we provided the customer list to them to mail to, and a little script in the corner said Meridian One, but they put the old IPCPR logo at the same time your company was buying out Meridian One. We were rebranding ourselves from International Premium Cigar Pipe Retailers Association to simply Premium Cigar Association, but they would see the old IPCPR logo in the corner of a card advertising UPS or Budget, Avis Rent-A-Car, and I got a few calls saying, "Are you sending these out?" And I go, "Yeah, we are." It's
Yeah.
from,
That's a good answer.
coming from us through our agent, which is
Correct.
the packager of affinity programs, and it is, it is something that we monitor with all of our affinity partners and see the extent to which our members are using them. And our association at any given point in time is 1,400 member companies. It's not huge. I'm sure you work with associations that have thousands of members. And so, our penetration is probably smaller. Of course, those 1,350 companies might have, 10 times that number of employees ultimately who potentially have access to these savings. But generally, our members are not individuals, they're organizations. And for the most part, it's going to be the lead contact on the account, oftentimes the business owner or general manager that's going to be accessing these services. So we appreciate that you're there for the small associations like ours, in addition to the big ones. So who are some of the other trade groups that you work with that our members might have heard of?
So big ones, something like the American Dental Association we work with, which of course requires a lot of dentists, of course, around. But there are some associations in some states where you have to join the association to be a functioning, I guess, member of the industry, so to speak.
Yeah.
So as an example, like lawyers, some states require you to join the state association of lawyers, in addition to, of course, your bar exam and things of that nature. What I manage, particular, is consumer services industry, the retail the retail, travel, and hospitality industry, some consumer goods, some manufacturing, construction, as well as some travel associations that all kind of loop into that. But definitely, each one is kind of taking its own segue as far as pivoting, because most of mine weren't essential, but those that were essential were like, we either pivoted or we're still in the mix and working. So something like the electrical contractors, they're definitely still kind of maybe have to go into some businesses or some houses or even those hospitals that come about. But Gallagher offers so many different member benefit programs to different industries across throughout our entire team, where we're in almost every industry, I will say. So I don't think there's one that we don't cover, but there's a good amount that we offer as far as to different, but there are over 600 that we manage.
Good. Well, I know a lot of people in the private sector aren't aware of companies like yours. I think a lot of us in the trade association business are quite aware, because we're trying to package member benefits for our members. And anyway, we certainly appreciate having you around. Is there anybody who's watching who has a question they want to type in? Because I was talking with Aaron before we started this, Donovan, that we are recording these and they are available after broadcast via YouTube and such. And we do most of these in the afternoon, and, especially in the busy season, which, depending where in the country is, that might be December because you've got holiday buying, or it might be in the summer in the northern tier where people are vacationing in Cape Cod, or it could be in the winter in Arizona because that's when people are vacationing down there. So we recognize that people can't necessarily step away from the cash register at 2 or 3 in the afternoon,
right,
or whatever time of day. So we get more views after broadcast than during, but we do always leave a little time at the end for Q&A in case any of the viewers want to know. But I think this gives me an opportunity to send out another broadcast email. I could put in a plug about that UPS webinar in case anybody's interested, and at least renew the contact information with the website so that they know how to access these discounts. Because, like I said, I think there's some good savings to be had, and we're kind of in a promotion partnership. Sometimes Gallagher asks me for an updated mailing address because they're sending something out, and other times they're asking me, hey, can you put in a plug in your magazine about what we're doing and so on. So if you have anything along that line that you want to send us, this is the first time I've met you face to face on calls such as this, but I've been working with your company for a couple of years, and I've always been getting some, a good partnership.
Absolutely. We appreciate you working with us as well. We do a multi-layered touch as far as where we go with members, and you've been extremely great to work with, of course, and going forward, we're going to continue the partnership as well. So really appreciate everything that we're doing is providing member benefits, because that's our mission. So
thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. See you.
And before we go, I just wanted to kind of close it up. Thank you, Donovan, for joining us today. And thank you, Greg. And thank you for everyone who's watching. I know we initially launched these virtual events as a way to stay connected with everyone through COVID-19, but there's been such a positive response. So we're gonna just keep it rolling. We have no end date in sight. We're gonna keep doing these every week. Tomorrow we're actually talking with Perdomo Cigars, and Thursday we've got Padron joining us. So those will be two very cool virtual events coming up this week. If you have any more questions about this particular broadcast or about becoming a member or about Gallagher, feel free to contact Greg, who is the head of retailer membership at greg@premiumcigars.org. And you can always also visit our website at premiumcigars.org. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you back here tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you guys so much again.
Thanks, Donovan. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks.
Thanks, Aaron.